Welcome, racing fans. We are live at the Red Mile. I'm live, anyways. Mike is on the phone. Mike, say hi.
Hello.
That's Mike. And this guy right here, Ken Terpenning from Harness Racing Replays 2.0.
What's up, everyone?
Ken, we got 8 races on tap today.
What's up, Mike?
So we've got 8 races on tap, and very good card, actually. A bunch of stake races, but this first race, they're already out post parading, and we got 4 minutes to post, and field of 5 here, short field. You got a big 1 to 5, it looks like right now, on the 4, Frankie Rocks, Australian bred shipper, first start in North America for Tani Camilleri. What do you think?
I spoke to Tani about this one. He's been training super sharp, looking for a really nice debut here in this late closer.
Yeah, he's going to be tough to beat. I mean, the qualifiers from this horse were outstanding. The latest qualifier, 151-1 last quarter, 25-4. I mean, that's pretty tough.
Yeah, coming home last score 25-4, winning by 4 1/4 in the qualifier, just under wraps against Statement Made. Not a slouch there. Definitely looks to be the one to beat here.
Yeah, definitely. And you know, a horse that upset at the Meadowlands earlier this year that I gave out live on the Meadowlands broadcast, Blood Money. This horse has a ton of speed. His last start, 150 flat here off of the qualifier. Now is off about a 4-month layoff. Finished third race very well there. Think he could possibly upset?
Got a slight possibility. I'm actually looking at the 5 Caviar Stenson. I think that one coming off the 49-2 mile last out here in Lexington. You know, in this late closer series, that horse there, you know, Brian Brown, Razor Sharp right now, and David Miller in the bike. You can't beat that combination.
I agree. I actually did watch that horse warm up. He didn't warm up that great, so I was a little taken back by that. But as far as the race itself, I think he fits well. You know, that win was a big win last time. I'm looking at Blood Money 7-1. That's the right value for me in this race. I think the price is a little too short on Frankie Rocks. Mike, what do you think about it?
Well, I mean, the short field, you know, it's hard to discern these Australian type horses. There was one at Woodbine the other night, actually, that, you know, looked very good qualifying and looked good on the track, and then made a terrible break in the middle of the stretch. And I'm not saying that that's what's going to happen with this horse, but it's very, you know, difficult to discern how a horse, especially in a first start in the new country, you know, new everything, is going to do well. Obviously, they wanted to get this horse on Lasix. You know, I agree with you on the one. This horse has tons of back class. Has made almost 400,000. You know, has done okay at this racetrack. I like horses that like Lexington. So I would be, you know, on the 1 to 2 and kind of take a wait and see approach on the 4.
I kind of agree with you. It's hard to go against the 4 altogether. You know, 1 to 5 is a really short price, though. I'd definitely be trying to beat the horse and, you know, maybe exact the boxes.
Yeah, big key here is going to be the track condition. We did get some rain here this morning. The track's just a touch sticky. They've been adding material, working it really well. A lot of times when it rains here, speed favoring does not hold up, so we'll see.
Going to be an interesting first race. They're about a minute to post. I'm taking off right now. I will be back as soon as this race is done. You got the camera?
We got it.
All right. Ken's taking over. Mike, if he screws up, screen punch him. Just punch your screen.
I'm working on trying to get the video embedded into our website here, so that's not good. But I'm online here.
Just punch your screen.
Gates moving into position, Mike. We are about ready for a start here for the first. Yeah, we hope to have Tani on the show here. She's got one in the first and in the fifth today, so she did say that she'd like to come on and do an interview with us. So our goal is to have her on sometime after the fifth race. Hopefully she has the time to do so. And they are on the way to the gate. Not sure if you can hear Gabe Pruitt, so I might be able to give you a race call here of sorts. We're down about 100, maybe 200 yards from the finish line, so I'm relying on the TV. And they are off. Frankie rocks right to the front. Blood Money gets away in second. Dealer's Table third. We come back to Gold Star Major, and Caviar Stetson can see them all as they motor into the first turn and head towards that long red clay backstretch here at the Red Mile. And Frankie Rocks is on top by a length. Blood Money is second. Dealer's Table back to third. Then we come back to Gold Star Major, and Caviar Stetson can see them all as they hit that quarter-mile station in 27-3. Frankie Rocks cruising along, got it now by 2. Blood Money second. Then we come back to Dealer's Table. Gold Star Major and Caviar Stetson can still see them all as they are about a third of the way down the backside and approach that half-mile pole. We got a breaker. Gold Star Major made a break, but up front, Frankie Rocks has him by a length over Blood Money. Half mile up in 54-1, blazing to that second quarter. Frankie Rocks got him by a length. Blood Money second. And we come back to Dealer's Table. Caviar Stetson back pacing Gold Star Major as they motor around that turn and approach the three-quarter mile station. And it is Frankie Rocks on top. Blood Money still second. We got action coming now. Here comes Dealer's Table. And Caviar Stetson making a move. Three quarters is up in 22-1, and Frankie Rocks is stopped. Dealer's Table and Tim Tetrick has opened up on this field, and Dealer's Table is drawing off here in the stretch. Dealer's Table. Race for the timer here. We'll see what they get to that final mile station. Dealer's Table closing up in the second. Blood Money. Caviar Stetson was third. 1:49-1 for Dealer's Table. Well, no one saw that one coming. Jeff Cullifer, trainee. Yeah, 6-5 morning line favorite, and ended up holding true to form to the morning line here, even though they bet the 4 off the board. $2-1-5-3. There is an inquiry on the board. I'm sure that's got to do with the breaker. Gold Star Major. Got the winner coming back here to the winner's circle. Dealer's Table, a 3-year-old bay gelding by American Ideal out of the Quick Pulse Mindale mare, Hasty Pulse. Owned by Pollock Racing LLC, Jeff Cullifer. Trained by Jeff Cullifer, driven by Tim Tetrick. Coming right in front of our camera here. Being met by fellow trainer Gary Neefus, helping Jeff Cullifer out here today, catching Dealer's Table, the winner of race 1, the late closer, number 15. You can see them entering the winner's circle now for their picture. Equaled his lifetime mark today. $28 exacta here for the 2-1 exacta. Looks like we got $11 and some change on the winner. If I'm seeing correctly, I got a little bit of a distance from the tow boards. It's hard to see, but Mike, maybe you can confirm that for me. Got a couple scratches coming up in race 2. Number 9, Joey is out. Number 10, Aldebaran Walkabout is out. Scratch down to a field of 9. Number 11, Shoshi Dio will still start from the second tier. And we are back here live at the Red Mile for race 2. Late closer number 16 coming up. Horses and geldings, non-winners of 4 or 35,000 this year. Rod is back.
Bang, bang.
So we had a sort of an upset winner there. Morning line favorite, 6-5, but ended up paying over $11 to win.
Yeah.
Really, really nice payout there for the first race on a card that kind of looked chalky, but so far we've got one favorite go down. And as I said earlier, that track, once we get a little moisture into it, it usually does not favor speed. So,
well, I will tell you that just watching that first race, the speed absolutely stopped. it wasn't even, it wasn't even a thing. That horse came to a walk at the 3/4 pole.
Yeah, we need to speak with Tani about that one maybe later when she comes on and find out what happened there. Maybe the horse bled over Lasix or something. You never know, but hopefully the horse is okay.
Yeah, that's another factor. Like we talked about, and we talked about this before the race, but the horse obviously had a bleeding issue where it was, and came here to get the Lasix. But you never know until you actually physically get in the race how they're going to perform. I don't care what their qualifiers look like, and that was certainly a good opportunity.
Yeah, but at the same time, off of those qualifiers, you expected that horse to race pretty well, and he didn't. Obviously there was an underlying issue there. So when we get Tani on, maybe she'll have an answer for us of why that horse didn't perform. But race 2, got a field of 8 after 2 scratches here, the 9 and the 10. No, it's a field of 9. There's 11 in this race, but the 9 and the 10 are both scratched here. So a field of 9, and big favorite to open up the betting here in the 7 Southwind Chrome. 1-5 on the board right now. Too short.
Yeah, 7 wins on 16 starts this year. Made 70,000, mark of 50-1 last start. In a looks like a 6-race win streak here. We'll see if Southwind Chrome can close this one out for the chalk bettors. 3-5 morning line favorite, currently on the board at 1-9.
1-9 is probably a little too short. I would not take anything, especially a horse that has speed, like you were mentioning earlier. The speed is not going to hold up that well today because of the way the track is. So, little backstory from this morning: it rained, so it's wet. The track is sticky. You can probably hear in the background the horse is warming up, and you can actually hear that dirt clumping up underneath their feet. So, that will play a factor as the starting gate rolls in front of us here. But with 7 minutes to post, they're going to run these races pretty quick today, I think. Because
I think their goal is to try to get them all in before the rain moves in, which it looked like it was moving in from Tennessee. So hopefully we can get them in and it not have too much rain. As Renee Allard just rolled by us. warming a horse up. It looked like the 6th race, number 4. So that's interesting.
Going to first trip.
Yeah, I haven't seen Renee Allard on the track in a while warming a horse up. So
no.
There we go. The big man's getting it done.
But here we've got 6 minutes to post, and the betting is still just favoring the 7 here, 1-5. They're not betting anything else really. The 1 for a Dreamer at 7-1 is your second favorite. Comes in off a 4th place finish, raced pretty well last time. Do you think he can handle this group in this late closer final? He does have Yannick.
Yeah, Yannick in the bike, Per Engblom. I mean, obviously, a really nice stable. Horse has every shot in the world here, depending on the trip. Coming in off a mile in 51 and 4. Does it match the 50 and 1 mile last out by Southwind Chrome? No, not by about 9 lengths.
Yeah.
So we'll see. It's just going to depend on the trip. Southwind Chrome does not need to be on the front here. Looks like he can come off the pace, so hopefully that'll help the horse out.
Yeah, the way he's been. Go ahead, Mike.
I'm going to jump in a little here because, if you look at the class in this race and this horse, the 1-4 Dreamer, compared to a lot of these other horses, this race was racing at upper levels earlier in the year at the Meadowlands, numbers of 14,000 type, races at Philly, whereas, a horse like the 2 is a numbers of 3 type. The horse like the 3 is a numbers of 2 and 3 type. The 4, same difference. A lot of these horses are numbers of 2 and 3 types, and the 1 has a ton more class than a lot of these here. And I think if it stays flat, he's very, very likely to round out the exacta. Likes the big track, has 2 decent starts here prior to this. As far as I'm concerned, if I'm betting the race, I realize you guys don't like the favorite, but he's 2 seconds faster than everybody else. He's been crushing everything. He likes this racetrack. Okay, so, can you pair up an exacta with the 1? It's almost like betting the 1 to win in the race a little bit. That's how I would approach the race.
Well, if you're keen on the 7, it is a trot race, so you got to take that into consideration too. And I don't take 1-5 trotters ever.
I get it. Right. It's just that the horse looks over and above everything in the race.
Yeah, I agree. He is better than these, but it's an off track. You have, which I don't know. Did they list it as fast? Yeah, they listed it as fast. It's not fast. But you have an off track. You have an outside post with a trailer, by the way. The 11 is a trailer in this race. And you have a horse that likes to be up close and on the lead at the half. His move is normally at the quarter pole. That's when you see him move toward the front. Right. So he's going to have to 2 move or get hung past the quarter in this race. And, that might not fare in his favor just because of the way the track might be planned today.
How the track's going to play. I realize that it plays a certain way depending on weather and things like that, but we've seen one race where you had a horse that's a known bleeder basically bleed. You can't discern anything from the racetrack yet, and I'm not going to make any judgments. I'm going to judge the track on its own right now by itself without anything to really go by.
Well, we've got a post parade for race number 2 that we will bring to you. Ken's going to give you the horses as they come by.
So number 1 went by for a Dreamer. Yannick Gingras in the bike. Cheetah Lotpov. Matt Kruger. American Money. Andy Miller. Forecast. Tyler Buter. Bully Boy. Dexter Dunn. Moonshiner Hanover, David Miller. Southwind Chrome, the prohibitive 1-9 favorite on the board with Tim Tetrick. And Scramble Camp for Angie Coleman. We hope Angie joins us on the broadcast later. Brian Sears in the bike there. And Shoshi Dio just went by. Dwayne Miner in the bike from Post 11, starting second tier behind For a Dreamer. 1 minute to post. Mike, how's the Exacta board looking? Are you looking at that at all?
And then the other ones are larger. 7-2 is 15 to 1, 7-5, 17 to 1, 7-11 is 34 to 1. So that's what you're getting there. I mean, I think 5, if you could get 5 to 1 kind of, right now though, 21 to 1 on the 1 is pretty tempting to win if you guys don't like the favorite. I mean, that's a huge price. I mean, it's almost a negative win pool to what they have right now.
Is it really?
Yeah, because you have like 2,400 to win or 2,400 in the win pool, and there's 2,000 to win on the 7. So I mean, it's and the show pool is even bigger. I mean,
6,700 to show on the favorite right now.
Out of 7,000, so it's a massive negative, pool.
So one thing about the Red Mile, we always get the bridge jumpers on these favorites, betting these big show bets. I remember being here one year back, probably 98 or so, there was a $30,000 show wager on a horse, and the horse ended up fourth, got beat.
Oh.
So that was not a very good scene. There's 13,000 to show on the 7 now. More than in the entire place and win pool.
That's not...
Yeah, I mean, and like Rod said, you're looking at trotters on a sloppy track. You realize the horse has won 6 in a row, but this horse is capable of going wrong also.
But you're getting, if I'm looking at this right, Mike, you're getting a 7-1 Exacta paying $7? $8
right now.
I got 5 to 2 on my Exacta board, but yeah, that's pretty good value there. I mean, for what it appears to be a 7-1. I mean, if you want to go 7-4, maybe.
Yeah, I don't see anything else. I mean, what about the 11? Any 11 for you guys?
I'm not a big second tier fan.
I mean, this horse has some back lines. Is raced well at Lexington on and off track August 25th. The reason the horse isn't being bet is because of the driver, but he can get you one there, and he's driven this horse pretty much the entire fall. So I don't mind that horse to fill out exotics, and right now that horse is he's 43 to 1, 50 to 1. I mean, I'm using the 11 in that 3rd and 4th spots. It's me.
Well, we've got about 2 minutes to post here. Final thoughts from you, Mike. You said you're playing the 7-1 Exacta.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's where the value lies. Unless you think the 7 can't win the race, in which case I would bet the 1 because you're getting fair enough with the price. There is one there. If I'm trying to play drive and make some use of the 11, in the 3rd and 4th spots, the pick 5 starts in the race. This is the kind of pick 5 that could pay massive if you could beat this favorite to start, because probably 95% of the pool is going to run through this horse. If you don't mind doubling the ticket, using the 1 here might not be the worst thing in the world.
Yeah, and I did put a pick 5 ticket together here. It's up on my page on Harness Racing Replays 2.0, but for $3, I bet a 7 with 2, 5, 6 with 4 with 3 with 3, 4. And I just got a text message from the Cowboy. I don't know if anybody knows the Cowboy, that Dean Santantonio guy from Ohio, that horse trainer guy. He sent me a 7337, paying $10 or for $10.
Okay.
I'm not sure what he means by that. I'm not looking at the exact board, but maybe he likes a 73 or 37 here.
Well, I wish him luck because I'm not playing it.
I mean, the connections are, obvious. I don't like the Lexington line, though. I mean, that's hard to look past.
By the way, I'm making sure you guys' camera is good to go. That way you can see some things.
There we go. That looks good. You can get a nice stretch drive there. Start using your program. They're going to the gate for race 2. In lieu of Gabe Pruitt's race call, no offense to Gabe, but since we're all the way down at the end here, you can't really hear Gabe very well. I'll try to give you the best race call I possibly can from sitting at my perch over here. If I start hacking and coughing, I've had bronchitis all week, so forgive me. And they're off and trotting, and from the outside, Moonshiner Hanover tries for command. Bully Boy along the inside. On the outside, Southwind Chrome looking for an early seat as they motor around that turn. And on the lead, Moonshiner Hanover showing the way, and on the outside, looking for the early lead, is Southwind Chrome. These two will do battle as they go down the backstretch. Down along the inside is Bully Boy. Looks like Forecast is in the mix on the outside in 4th. And we come back to For a Dreamer, American Money. As they motor down that backside now, we got to that quarter-mile station in 27 and 4. I've got a Rod Allums in my view, so I can't really see now as they go behind Rod's head. And it is Southwind Chrome on top by a length. Moonshiner Hanover second. Half mile is up in 54 and 1. I guess the track is fast today. And Southwind Chrome is opened up by 2 on Moonshiner Hanover. Sitting on the inside, Bully Boy in 3rd. Parked on the outside is Forecast in 4th, but it is all the Southwind Chrome show. He approaches the 3/4 mile station, and Southwind Chrome is up by 5. 122 and 3, Southwind Chrome. He's now up by 10 at the top of the stretch, and he's opening it up. Racing for the time here. Southwind Chrome under cruise control, to quote Barry Vickroy. Southwind Chrome in a romp. Battle's going to be for second here. Down along the inside is For a Dreamer, and the outside was Bully Boy. Looked like Bully Boy might have gotten second. 151 and 1. Southwind Chrome crushed. It was very close between the 11 and the 5 for second.
11 was 91.
Large. Well, most of them had to be about 99 to 1, right?
Yeah, I mean, like, well, no, actually, there were a couple of those.
7, 5, 11, and 1. Your order finish.
Yeah, so the one was a little misdriven there. I mean, I don't know what he's doing burying that horse behind all the dead stuff, and then has nowhere to go. I don't really understand that, but they were never beating this horse.
How about the Ohio-based Bully Boy coming up for a big second-place finish?
Yeah, I mean, that's Dexter Dunn. You know, that's really, that would be the only way I find him.
What am I seeing out there? 75 to 1 on the 5?
Yeah.
75 to 1, yeah. And so you got 1 to 9, 75 to 1, 99 to 1, and 16 to 1. Way to ruin the Super.
Yep. I had a 7-9-4, or 7-9, I'm sorry, 7-1-4 were my picks in there. And it came out 7, 5, 11, and 1.
We'll get Timmy as he's coming by here with Southwind Chrome going back to the winner's circle.
Back-to-back winners for Timmy.
He's about to stop right in front of us.
He took the early daily double. Timmy, how good was Southwind Chrome there?
Very good, yeah. Got parked a long way and he kept going. He's good.
You heard it. That's a Jeff Cullifer daily double. Give us a shout out, Jeff. Congratulations.
Jeff Cullifer, one of the 3 wide sponsors. Bang, bang.
Giving you all this live action here. Where else but at NAHU?
Bang, bang.
3 wide.
Trying to figure out what Mike's doing since he's like shuffling things. Are you playing cards right now, Mike? Or?
Pocket pool.
No, I'm trying to, it'd be nice if we could, Rod, you didn't embed the freaking video on the website.
Yeah, I didn't have time.
Twitter.
Sorry, we had to move last second.
I mean, like, this is the stuff that needs done before we start these things instead of going and eating
There was
steak
no
every
internet.
night.
There was no internet, and we had to move. 20 minutes before the show started? So yeah, it got a little hectic.
And we're running off my AT&T Wi-Fi right now.
If you would, yeah. I mean, right now the video is good on Facebook, and the audio is excellent. I mean, it's better than usual right now. So.
Well, yeah, that's because I'm talking. That's why.
But the problem is that we don't have it on the places that we need to have it.
Hey, and it's raining now, by the way.
And by the way, I was trying to get the video up and rolling, but that didn't happen. The live video feed. We were trying to get that done, but it wasn't in the cards.
Well, I don't know. I just need to know how to do it. Anyway.
No, not the other one. The one we are allowed to have.
I understand. And that wasn't working either. Okay. I mean, the video's fine and everything's good that way as far as what we're doing and what you guys are doing.
210, 210, 210. Prices stink.
What did the super come back? 20-cent super was $146.
Oh my goodness, 146. All you had to do was go 7 all.
Well, you didn't really have to because we like the 1 and the 11. I mean, you just have to find Dexter Dunn. I mean, if you know.
Yeah, I like the all button. The all button's my friend when I wager.
Well, that's not my friend that much.
Well, I will say it's raining again.
Thank goodness for Rod's tent.
Yeah, good thing we got this tent. Otherwise, we'd have been shutting this beast down, going inside and restarting it.
Or just going to the bar and drinking, one or the other.
Both. Mickey Burke Jr. comes by and nods his head.
Yep. He's happy to be out in the rain. So up next, we got Race 3, the Alleridge Farms Filly and Mares Open, sponsored by the What the Hill Syndicate and the NAHU sponsor Hickory Lane Horse Farm. We have Manchego coming off that world record performance at the Dayton Trotting Derby last time out in 150-1. 7-5 morning line currently on the board as
3-5.
3-5 favorite. Should have brought my binoculars had I known we were going to be this far away from the tote board, but
it's a really nice race. I mean,
I'll tell you, I watched most of these warm up earlier, and the horse that really caught my eye is I already know Mike knows who I'm talking about.
Plunge Blue Chip.
Who is it?
Plunge Blue Chip.
Plunge Blue Chip. She was solid warming up. I love this mare. And by the way, Sponstead Stable had a world record performance yesterday with 6-pack, 149-2 on the trot. So expect Plunge Blue Chip to be solid today as well.
Stacked deck in here for Svanstead too. He's got 3 entries in here with Ice Attraction, Plunge Blue Chip and Darling Mirrors, I guess is how you pronounce that. Mirrors.
Mirrors.
I don't know, something like that.
I'll tell you, a horse that nice attraction. She just does well here every single year. She won, at 2, at 3, at 4 at Lexington. Loves the racetrack. Gets back to that racetrack. It's been off a little bit, and it's going to be a huge price. You need to use that horse in your tickets.
Yeah, and if you remember 2 years ago, she upset Hannelore Hanover in the slop, by the way. So Ice Attraction is definitely in play here at currently 79-1. She's not gonna go off 79-1. But as far as odds go right now, all the money's on Manchego. The early money's on Manchego, and it should be. I mean, she's coming off 2 straight wins, 150-1 at Dayton in the Dayton. The Dayton Trotting Derby?
Yep. Track record, world record.
A world record performance there. I mean, you can't fault what she's doing right now, but a little bit of a different field here. And you get Hannelore, which we haven't mentioned yet. Hannelore Hanover, the queen of trotting, and Plunge Blue Chip, who's won here in the past. Ice Attraction, who's won here in the past. There's a lot of horses that have experience over this track, and that like this track, especially these Fonstedt horses.
We were here last year. Pat Matters even won last year on this day.
Yeah.
So, Pat Matters from the rail, you never know. Coming off a 3-race win streak.
So, Mike, if you're betting this race, there's about 8 minutes to post here. If you're betting this race, how are you betting it?
Well, I mean, for me, I'm the type of person that, when horses kind of err to the point of, a 50-1 mile on a date, I'm trying to beat that horse next time, and that might be unwise, but that's just, I'm looking for that horse, for Manchego to maybe regress off of that effort, and, now, she's obvious. I mean, she's made $2 million, but on this racetrack, there are horses that I feel like this track a little better. Horses like Ice Attraction, horses like, Plunge Blue Chip, I think, can race very well here. And Hannelore has a puncher's chance in the race because, she hasn't been dancing as many dances as some of these other ones. She's going to get, out there early and have to be caught. And, whereas they've come a little bit from off it today, I feel like that she's sort of interesting to me because she's typically not any kind of price. Had faced Lindy the Great last time, that horse was crushing at Woodbine for a couple starts in a row. Mission Accepted, Guardian Angel, that is a huge race that she came out of there from the 8-hole. Really no chance there. Prior to that, was getting the front and really doing her thing. I liked her in here. She's very capable of beating this bunch. And right now, you're getting, let's see, 17-1. I mean, that's crazy. 17-1 on this horse? Yeah, I mean, I'm interested there.
And Plunge Blue Chip's now your favorite on the board.
1 to 5. I mean, 1 to 5 on the 5. You just can't. You can't do that.
That just makes the value for Manchego even better.
For me, I would definitely have Manchego on my tickets. Every ticket that I have, Manchego is going to be on it. But I'm throwing in Plunge Blue Chip as a key horse in there. I think Plunge Blue Chip hits the board. No question there. And then you throw on a couple of prices. Ice Attraction, currently 99-1 now. So all the money right now is on Plunge Blue Chip. And then you have to have Hannelore. I mean, it's Hannelore Hanover. You got to have her. And even Top Expectation coming off that win last time, I thought was pretty solid.
I'm going to go 2, 5, 6, and 8 in here. Manchego on top, Plunge Blue Chip, Hannelore Hanover, the 3 obvious choices. But I'm going to throw in that Darling Mares S on the bottom there, number 8. Shows a couple of 150 miles back at the Meadowlands. Of course, beat by Manchego and Hannelore Hanover. But, I mean, right there with them. Only got beat 3/4 of a length both times. And that stood out to me here looking at this race. Coming in from Yonkers. First start at the Red Mile. I don't think this horse has ever raced here before. So it'll be interesting to see how another Ake horse does here with Andy Miller in the bike. Andy Miller, a really good expert here driving at the Red Mile.
Yeah, I can't disagree with that. I mean, Andy, when he comes here, he does very well, and especially in these top stakes events, Andy has these things where they need to be. Andy's a smart guy, and he drives very smart. So when it comes to the big money, especially on trotters, you always see Andy right there at the wire. But as far as exotics plays here, I would be on a trifecta play because this is a race where several long shots could possibly hit the ticket, and you get 1 to 2 right now on plunge blue chip, which I don't like, but I'm going to say my trifecta play here would be 2-5 on top, and then you throw on ice attraction, Hannelore Hanover for second, and just hit the all button for third. It's going to cost you like $20 for $1, and I think it could pay pretty decently if you get one of those other 2 horses for second and anybody for third.
Yeah, I can't disagree there. I like the superfectas myself, and obviously after watching the last couple races, the value is there in the superfecta pool right now. Decent money in the pool there for that. So I'm just going to go ahead and box my top 4 picks, 2, 5, and 6, and 8 here in the second. Mike, what do you like?
Well, like I said, I would probably try to look to get an upset. I'd be looking at using a couple of the bigger prices to maybe trip out and upset, like, use the ice attraction, use Handler on top. I would probably be against Manchego for the top spot and use plunge blue chip, and then, use those horses for second. There's a couple Woodbine horses in here that shouldn't be ignored. Top expectations. The fact that they're here after this horse kind of righted the ship up at Woodbine, and that was last Monday. This horse got the front, basically went 26-3, kind of backed it down and rolled late. Really never looked a loser in there. This horse had a good year, 6 wins out of 14 races. Likes the big track, is capable, of big miles when the horse, stays flat. And when bears on ships, they're usually pretty good. So I feel like that horse can hit the ticket somewhere, and right now is being completely ignored. 65 to 1, and then you have, PL Jill's another one who's capable of shipping. I realize that she doesn't have some of the stakes lines that some of these other ones do, but she still made 136,000 doing it the hard way. Has 7 wins, can sit, can do it from anywhere. When she's good, she's capable of hitting the ticket in the race. So, like Rod said about playing all, I'm more interested in trying to get one of these big numbers in for second or third and really trying to blow up this race.
Well, we do have a post parade coming here for race number 3. 2 minutes to post. They're going to be rolling these things pretty quick now because the rain is coming in, and all I can say is thank God we have a tent.
For sure. Number 1, Pat Matters, David Miller in the bike. We'll get you a post parade here. These horses are coming from the top of the stretch towards us. Rod's going to get our camera going here and try to get a look at these horses here as they come by on the track. Pat Matters on the board at 66 to 1. That's your 1 horse coming by right now on the camera. Number 2 is the Great Manchego, world record holder. 6 to 5 on the tote board right now. Dexter Dunn in the bike. Number 3, Top Expectations, Brian Sears, 71 to 1. Number 4, Ice Attraction, Andy McCarthy, 99 to 1. Number 5, Plunge Blue Chip, Ake in the bike. Your prohibitive 4 to 5 favorite at the moment. Number 6 is Hannelore Hanover, Yannick Gingras. Number 7, PL Jill, Tim Tetrick. And number 8, Darling Mara S, 7 to 1 on the board. Getting wager money here on number 8. And he looks good going by. Or she does, I should say.
Just a couple minutes to post here for race number 3, and odds are changing a little bit, but not a lot. The 5 and the 2 now, both even money. So both of them are taking some money, and the number 6, Hannelore Hanover, she's starting to kind of go down in odds now. I think people realize 10 to 1 on Hannelore Hanover ever?
Yeah.
I mean,
right now the 6 and the 8 are both 7-1 on the board. So I mean,
Ice Attraction's 99-1.
yeah, Ice Attraction at 99-1. I mean,
that's a little ridiculous, I think.
that's nuts.
She can win. I'm telling you, she can win this race.
Quick observation: we had a patron behind us noting how hard the track sounds when the horses go by, and I do agree. They got this track pretty packed down on this red clay today, but you'll notice you probably can't pick it up when they went by on the camera, but they are actually grabbing some of that material and picking it up as they go by. It's a little bit sticky with this rain, so it should soften up here some, but right now it is pretty hard.
And that's atypical for this place. I mean, I wonder if they had sealed it prior to previous rain. Maybe, maybe that's something you guys can find out being there.
Rod's got to adjust our camera here. We got a little bit of a angle malfunction. Now we're looking at the skyline.
Yeah. We'll get it. There we go.
There we go.
What, you don't like the sky?
I love the skyline here in
Earth
Lexington.
hater?
Love it. It's one of the nicer cities in the United States to be in, especially this time
I love
of year.
Lexington. Love it.
Here we had a really good shot. A plunge blue chip went by us. Okay. Ice Attraction storming on by, looking large. I mean, Ice Attraction looks really, really nice right now.
She's kind of a polar anyways, so, she does look very good, though.
Yeah, trotting up a storm.
We saw her warming up. Sarah Sponstead was warming her up behind the other two fillies in this race.
Right.
She's a polar, so I expect to see her like that on the track, but same time, she did look really good.
Yeah.
And the odds are there. You have to throw that one on your ticket. Mike, are you going to play this horse to win?
I think it's worth the flyer. I mean, right now you're getting 100-1 on a horse that has a chance, that loves the racetrack. I mean, how are you going to? When do you ever get that? You never get that.
No, you don't.
Mike probably needs to throw some, 10 across for us or something on this horse.
Yeah, absolutely. I would definitely play the 4 across, and actually I am going to play the 4 across a little bit because it's way too tempting not to take it.
Yeah, I think you should do that for us, too.
Okay.
And I'll note another notation here on the weather. The wind is picked up. You can actually see the infield TV swaying in the wind. Interesting weather here today. Last year we sweat our asses off.
Yeah.
In the sun with no tent.
And I will say one thing about the wind. Luckily, it's coming from behind the building. So,
Right.
But these gusts are not going to help our cause.
Yeah, it's blowing straight across the track, by the way. So if you're looking at the winner's circle, it's blowing diagonally across from the winner's circle to the quarter pole. Or I should say to the half-mile pole.
But
we are the gate are opening. We're ready for start.
We are ready for race number 3. Field of 8. Here we go. Still 99-1 on Ice Attraction. Let's get her home. Bang, bang.
Alleridge, filly and mare. Open trot. Starting gate is in motion. They're all behaving well behind the gate. Here they come. And they're off. Manchego down along the inside. On the outside, Hanover trying for command. Plunge Blue Chip splitting those two. Those three try for command as they go around the turn. and head towards that long red clay backstretch. And on the outside, Hannelore Hanover grabs command. Manchego will pocket up here, get away in second. Back in third is Plunge Blue Chip. Then we come back to Pat Matters, Top Expectations, Darling Mara S, Ice Attraction, and PL Jill as they motor to the quarter-mile station in a quick 26-3. And retaking command now is Manchego with Dexter Dunn, and Manchego is now back on top by a length to Hannelore Hanover in second. Plunge Blue Chip back to third. Pat Matters is fourth. Then we come back to Top Expectations. Darling Mara S and PL Jill, half-mile station in a snappy 53-3. They are motoring around the red clay here today. Manchego looking for another world record here. Manchego on top by a length. Popping out of the 3-hole, here comes Plunge Blue Chip to give it a go. It will come down to these two as Hannelore Hanover looks to be backing out here from the 3-hole as they approach the 3/4 miles, and it's up in 1:21. Wow, Manchego, look at her go. Top of the stretch, Manchego by a length. Plunge Blue Chip coming at her. It's Manchego and Plunge Blue Chip. These two will do battle as they come down that stretch. Manchego on top, Plunge Blue Chip second. They're racing the timer now. Manchego will do it. Manchego to win it in 1:49 flat. Wow, I got goosebumps. A 1:49 flat trotting mile by Manchego.
That is a world record.
I'll be back with you in about 10 minutes.
Got it. That's a new world record there. 1:49 flat.
That's got me all choked up here.
The fastest mile for a trotter ever. 1:49.
Let's just forget the weather. Who cares about the rain? It doesn't make a damn bit of difference today.
No. This track is lightning fast.
Wow. Got to give the props to the track crew. The track is absolutely amazing today.
1:49 flat again, Manchego with a
Back-to-back world
beastly
records.
mile. Just a beastly mile.
Plunge Blue Chip gave it a heck of a go.
Ice Attraction was third, by the way.
Bang, bang, 99-1. $2,548.
Even money, 8-5, 99-1, 7-1. So our 99-1 hit the board.
And an ice cold exacta given out by everybody.
Right. But 1:49 flat. Derek, tell us what you think about that mile.
I think it would have been nice if it would have went 1/5 faster. Then everyone would have been oohing on like crazy. It was,
Here you
very
go.
impressive, no doubt.
Here is your new world record holder, Manchego.
And here's the rain.
Dexter, what do you got to say? Awesome. Awesome. Pleasure to sit behind, he said. How do you beat that?
I'm a pleasure to sit behind, but I don't tell people that.
People just like to stand alongside you. No one wants to sit behind you. Trust me.
Yeah, you never know when he's going to have a bean burrito right there.
But those that don't know who was just talking, Derek Givner from DRF Harness. Are you playing anything today? Have you cashed any tickets yet?
I only played one race. I did not hit. I played against the favorite in the first race, and I played 1-2. It came in 2-1, so I was the wrong way. I didn't play this way. I couldn't decide here, which horse I like best. So when you can't decide, you're better off sitting it out.
Yeah, I agree 100%. It was tough to pick between those two mares. I mean, they're both extremely sharp, and we know Svanstedt has everything ready when he comes to these big races.
Yeah, I was waffling between those two horses, and I just couldn't decide. And you can't play them both. I mean, an exacta box, what are you going to do, break even?
Right.
So it just didn't make any sense to play the race from my perspective.
And if you were smart enough, like probably most of us our followers here, Manchego, the winner, and all you had to do is play the Ake Svanstedt trifecta behind it. Took the second, third, and fourth positions here. Look at the show price on Ice Attraction. $9.60 to show. 40+ try, Mike.
Mike jumped off. Hey, we got 960 to show.
Yeah, 960. Looking ahead to race 4, it's the Alleridge Farms Philly-Amer Open Pace. Featuring Chartan N, Caviar Alley, Sea Swift Joy, your top 3 favorites here in the race 4. They'll be going for a purse of $87,000, and we get a round of applause for Manchego leaving the winner's circle. Another world record for Manchego, back-to-back starts. And you got a really attractive win price on that one. At 9 minutes to post, Chartan N has opened up at even money on the board here for race 4. Second choice is the 5, Caviar Alley at 8 to 5. Chartan N has 40 wins lifetime and 52 starts, $1.955 million in earnings. Lifetime mark of 146-4 at the Meadowlands. That was set this year. Not sure that we'll see a 146 mile today, but if we do, it would be here in race 4.
So we are almost halfway through the card. 3 out of 8 done. And
Just about done.
we've got a world record already. How about that? Bang, bang.
Unreal. Let's see what Sharkton can do here. coming out of the 146 and 4
The first
lunchtime
pacing event of the day.
Yes.
And the first race was Pacers, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
But those were non-winners of 4.
Right.
That was a cheaper race. Now we're getting into the real good races. Starting there with Manchego. Now you got probably the best pacing mare of all time,
For sure.
in my opinion, Chartin.
44 out of 52, first or second. It's hard to beat that. 14 wins out of 15 this year, 19 out of 24 last year.
Yeah, she's been just unbelievable. Last year she was extremely good. This year I think she's actually hit another gear.
Oh, yeah.
And she hasn't even used that gear yet.
No, she hit that 46 and 4 mile back in the Lady Liberty at Meadowlands on August 3rd.
And did it easy.
And just did it easily, like just ridiculous. You can't say enough about this mare. And I know the connections are super happy. We've seen Heather Vitale go by earlier. She said hello to us. And I know that she's like the biggest Chartin fan, obviously, for family connections. But, the excitement when you watch a race. I got to interview her at Dayton and talk to them while they were there. And obviously they had that issue with their other mare, with the Freeze brand versus the microchip issue. And that was just devastating for them. But couldn't spoil the victory that day. And, Chartin has just gone on and done unbelievable things this year. So.
Yeah, and, she's so good. And she qualified. I was able to watch that qualifier. She did it extremely easy. She just looks... You see her on the track, and you're like, wow.
Right.
She looks the part, and then when she goes to race, she finishes it. She never lets up. And I'm just waiting for her to take on the boys again.
Now, what's it say? I have to ask you this, Rod. What is your opinion on this? We've seen Wiggle It Jiggle It return off the layoff and qualify at Harris, Philadelphia. And then we've seen Chartin come back and qualify also at Harris, Philadelphia. Any thought process as to why they're going to that particular track to qualify?
Mostly because it's close to them. But the surface there, I think, is a little bit deeper, softer for the horse's feet. So they think if they can get around there in a pretty good time, because if anybody that is a serious handicapper will tell you, you go to handicap a race and you see a horse, say from Harris, Philadelphia to the Meadowlands, you take 3 seconds off that time. It's a slower track, and horses that can get around there and say 51, 52 in a qualifier, they're ready to go 48, 47 elsewhere.
And it has to say something about the track surface. Obviously they had some issues several years ago with the track there, but apparently these horsemen are more confident in the track surface there.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that's a big key. And by the way, we got an Oaks champ coming by here.
Oh yeah, we gotta get Mr. Allard to give us a shout out.
What do you think?
You're on TV.
What do you think? Winner? He says she's ready.
Warming up really good.
Just waiting on the rain. It was raining and it kind of stopped, and hopefully it's stopped now.
No, you're fine.
I'm back.
Oh, Mike's back. As we get a post parade. So, yeah. Yeah, we made money. We made money on that bet, so. You got 2 even money shots and 99 to 1, and we still made money.
It's always good when you can make money on a show wager, too.
Right. Especially when you're betting across the board.
That horse was very easily bettable.
We'll do a couple shout outs after the post parade here. But they are out and parading for race number 4, so we'll get that.
Number 1 is Kissing in the Sand, Yannick Gingras on the bike for Nancy Johansson. Tequila Monday is the 2, Matt Kikali, Chris Oakes. Sea Swift Joy, Tony Alanya, Brian Sears. Tony Alanya, Mr. Millionaire, buying Maverick out of the sale for $1.1 million a couple nights ago. Sharton, Timmy Tetrick, Jim King Jr. Beautiful looking as always on the track. Number 5, Caviar Alley, Andy McCarthy. And the 6, Wisdom Tree with the Widge, Sam Widger for Jeff Cullifer. Field of 6, the Alleridge Farms, Fillies and Mares Open, Pace.
As you can see right there, Sharton going back by us. She's a little bit wound up today. You know, she hasn't raced for a few weeks, so you kind of expect her to be a little wound up. You know, it's actually been over a month since she's raced, so but she does look fantastic on the racetrack. You know, tough to go against her at this point, the way she looks. But the rain is trying to push through, I think, but it's not great. Looking at the tote board right now, 1-5 on Sharton, 3-1 currently on Caviar Alley, who's been really the runner-up to Sharton at every event all season for the most part. And then outside of that, you've got a lot of different double-digit odds here. Well, 8-1 on Kissing in the Sand. Mike, how are you going to play this race?
Well, I mean, I think if you're going to try to beat Sharton, this might be the time. Just because, you know, she was scratched out of, you know, that race at Woodbine. I imagine that they were, you know, wanting to go there and something went amiss. And, you know, she's, you know, obviously 14 for 15 this year. But, you know, this is as long as she's been laid up in quite some time. The qualifier was solid enough. But these are some really sharp horses that she has to face. And this is the top end here. This is not an easy spot at all for her. When you have the Caviar Alley coming off the big win to Milton there, you know, you have Kissing in the Sand racing as well as she has pretty much all year long. You know, those races, those preferreds and things at Woodbine were extremely fast races. So she has a puncher's chance. You know, she's gone 47-4 at this racetrack. That's where I would probably land as the 1 here because you're getting 8-1. I'm willing to take 8-1 on the 1 here.
You're going to take 8-1?
On the 1, absolutely.
Nah, see, that's a little bit too low for me.
Why?
I'd like to see her closer to, you know, something like 15-1 or so.
I mean, she might drift up. There's more money to come for Sharton.
Well, right now she's drifting down. She's 7-1 now.
Oh, okay. Well, I feel like that she is the best value, and she's going to end up the best value. She's going to end up over 10-1 in here.
Well, regardless, 2-5 on Sharton. As far as betting this race, I pass.
Yeah. I mean, what are you going to do? Bet a 4 or 5 and just try to hope you get your $2?
I just bet the 1. That's what I did. Again, I say this, you know, a lot. Horses are partial to this racetrack, and the best race of the one's life was on this racetrack, and that's, you know, that's hard to ignore. And then you have the 4 coming off a layoff. You know, you have the 5 that's going to get roughed up in the race. That, you know, so the 1 has a puncher's chance. You're getting a price, and she loves the track. And right now she's 10-1.
Just want to give a shout out to all of our fans watching on Facebook through the NAHU site and also through Harness Racing Replays 2.0. Mark Anderson, hello. Hello to our fans in the UK. Chris Christoforou up in Canada watching us.
Terry Wilson, yeah. He's
Terry
always
Wilson,
watching.
Yep.
Shout out to Terry. And by the way, Terry, I still have them glasses, those sunglasses you gave me from Western Fair, and I wore them 2 days ago, actually.
Shades.
Because they're pretty badass.
What time do you think the Kentucky Futurity will be, Rod? Like they're asking here. Because I know they're moving up these post times pretty quick.
What time is it now? 2:10. Well, they're going. So the last race is probably going to go right at 3:15-ish, I would say.
Yeah, because they're scheduled to race at 4:30 for the 8th race, but yeah, they're way ahead. Trying to get them all in before the really bad weather moves in.
Which they might start slowing down with these big races starting to come up here. But they are, you can see the starting gate starting to roll into position here for race number 4, the Allridge Farms Filly and Mare Open. Here we go. It's Sharton.
Gate is in motion. This field of 6 for the Allridge Farm Filly and Mares Open pace. They are heading down the stretch and approach the start. Kissing in the Sand, Tequila Monday, Sea Swift Joy, Sharton, Caviar Alley, and Wisdom Tree. And they are off and pacing, and as expected, Sharton heads out of there for command. And along the inside, Kissing in the Sand. Then we come back to Caviar Alley on the outside. Back to Tequila Monday, Sea Swift Joy, and Wisdom Tree is the trailer as they motor around that first turn. Sharton has command by a length. Back in second is Kissing in the Sand. Then we come back to Tequila Monday in third. Caviar Alley gets away in fourth. Check that. Caviar Alley is third. Tequila Monday fourth. Then we come back to Sea Swift Joy and Wisdom Tree. They went by that quarter-mile station in 27-2, and it is Sharton in command by a length. Kissing in the Sand, Yannick Gingras content to sit the pocket. Back in third is Caviar Alley with Andy McCarthy. Then we come back to Tequila Monday. Sea Swift Joy and Wisdom Tree can see them all. They come to the half-mile station, and the half-mile is up in 54-3. Sharton in command by a length. Kissing in the Sand, sitting chilly in second. Then we come back to Caviar Alley, Tequila Monday. Sea Swift Joy and Wisdom Tree can see them all. They come to the three-quarter-mile pole as they round that turn, and it is all Sharton in command by a length. Kissing in the Sand is second. Up and at him on the outside is Caviar Alley. They three-quarters is up in 1:22 as they motor to the top of the stretch, and Sharton looking to seal the deal on this one. She's got him by a length. Caviar Alley on the outside, making a nice challenge here. Caviar Alley has gotten to Sharton. Caviar Alley on the outside. As they come down to the finish, Caviar Alley with the upset. Sharton is beaten in second, 1:48-3. Wow. Caviar Alley getting it done. And again, speed favoring, not so much.
Trip, she just, not quite up to the top two, but if you were going to get her, today was a good time to get her.
5-4-1-6, your order of finish.
In 1:48-3. Pretty quick time. They went a slow half, so I didn't expect a huge mile there. 54-3.5. They're not going to come home in 50, 52 or 53. The track is getting a little bit more sloppy now. The rain's a little more consistent, so Sharton went to the lead, just got tired and got beat on the end. And we've seen that quite a few times today, so really, honestly, no surprises there with Sharton getting beat on the lead. I thought maybe she would come from off the pace today, but Timmy decided to go.
Sharton just went by us, looking no worse for wear, so probably just a tad bit, I guess we could say short of sorts,
just a little
coming
short.
off the scratch sick.
Yeah, off a month.
Off the month.
Facing Sharton at a tough spot.
Caviar Alley been razor sharp. Andy McCarthy coming in front of us here with Caviar Alley, the unofficial winner of the Alleridge Farms Filly and Mare Open. Caviar Alley, a 5-year-old bay mare by Bettor's Delight out of the No Nukes Mare All-American Cool, trained by Brett Pelling, driven by Andy McCarthy for Caviar Farms of Vienna, Virginia.
By the way, I did a little checking. So we've at least had viewers from 5 different countries
That's awesome.
so far.
We have any from Brazil today?
Yes, we've actually had quite a few from Brazil jump on that I've seen.
That's
Shout
awesome.
out to Giuseppe, who I had a conversation with last week.
Giuseppe, isn't that Italian?
It's Spanish.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, learned something.
They
new.
speak Portuguese, Rod. In Brazil.
Well, it don't matter. He was speaking
Spanish.
English to me, so that's all I care about.
We got some viewers from Sweden. Thomas Haglund says hello.
Shout out to Joe Mama.
Kathy Desert from Minnesota.
Shout
Hello,
out
Kathy.
to Joe Mammy.
Emily Hay is on with us today. Say hello,
Oh, nice.
Emily. Emily says, awesome job, Rod.
I know.
She's not biased.
Mic drop.
Don't drop Mike. He's already been dropped on his head one too many times. But
Young.
I'll be here all night, folks. Not really.
You can see the 2 kids coming from the winner's circle right there wearing the Steve from Blue's Clues shirts.
Oh my
Blues
God.
Clues. Blues Clues. I don't know why I know that song.
That's what we need
It
to
wasn't.
about Blues Clues on the show.
That was before my time. I don't even know why I know that.
Pick
But
Pick 4. It's the late pick 4, and it starts.
$10,000 guarantee.
It starts with a $270,000 Tattersalls Pace for 3-year-olds. These are the best of the best right here. Shake that house. It is $1 minimum on this pick 4, so keep that in mind.
We've got
And
Adios and Jug winner Southwind Ozzy 3 to 5 morning line.
can we beat the 3 to 5 morning line to start this pick 4? We've got about 12 minutes to post here. Mike, start us off.
I mean, it's hard to get past Southwind Ozzy, but you have to know that this horse prefers the smaller tracks. They've kept him on the smaller tracks all year long, and now this big track, I think that he could be a bit vulnerable. It's just not the toughest bunch that he really has to beat. I mean, these are kind of second-tier types. You got the Burke horse that De Los Cielos Deo or whatever. This horse likes the big track. He's really the only interesting one for my taste. U.S. Captain has raced well here at Lexington, but the last race was, pretty much lacking. I mean, that was a Bettor's Wish, Air Force Hanover type race. Shake the House is another one. Oaks has had kind of bad dates, and the jug wasn't all that great for this one. A decent prep last time. If you're looking to upset, I would probably try the 1, maybe the 7. If you think the 6 can find a way to actually, use the immense talent that he has, you could use that one. But, again, not the toughest bunch. Southwind Ozzy going to take a lot of beating.
I agree. I mean, Southwind Ozzy is obviously going to be very tough, coming off of 4 straight wins. Right now, he's a 3-year-old pacer of the year. Just hasn't been able to. Nobody's been able to beat him. I do think he's better on the small track, though. So that could be a thing that kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Hinders him today. The big track.
I wasn't sure where you're going with that, but I have to agree because Southwind Ozzy, 2 starts lifetime on a mile track at the Meadowlands, 0 for 2. Now, that granted, that was as a 2-year-old. So his 3-year-old season, he's been razor sharp. So maybe a little bit different horse here this year. But interesting stat, 0 for 2 on a mile track. So you never know.
Well, to start the pick 4, I'm definitely trying to beat him here. You got about 8 minutes to post to get your pick 4s in. I'm going to try to beat Southwind Ozzy with one other horse here. Shake That House. I think from the inside, he's good enough. He came from off the pace last week on a track that was dead front end. Everything was winning on the front that day. So he raced very well. Just got beat half a length. Shook loose a little bit too late. So inside post here, I think he's going to be firing. Timmy's going to get him off the car really fast. Probably look for that 2-hole trip behind. Most likely can't beach that. So that's where I'm going to go. I'm going to go 1 and 3 to start the sequence. Give us an idea here, Ken.
I liked Southwind Ozzy originally when I handicapped the race, but then now that I'm going back and looking at the stats, I'm going to actually flip this, and I'm going to go with Dancing Lou on top. Been training here at the Red Mile for Tawny. Went by us earlier, looked really, really good warming up. And I think Dancing Lou, if you get the right trip here, it shows a couple miles over the track in 148 and 3, 148 and 4. Absolutely no reason why Dancing Lou can't upset here, and you're getting 6 to 1 on the board currently.
And then we move on to race number 6, which is the 3-year-old fillies trot for $267,000. Field of 11 here, full field of 11. Pretty wide open, but like we mentioned earlier, Millie's Possession in this race, When Doves Cry, Hambo Oaks champion. Do you go against either one of those two?
No, and Renee come by us earlier, and he said warmed up really well, When Doves Cry. I find it hard to beat When Doves Cry in there. I know Millie's Possession's been racing really well, but When Doves Cry last time out here in Lexington, 150 and 1 mile on the trot. That's it's pretty good. Also, second time Lasix on that horse.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think, one of the things in that race is how does it set up? Because we've seen today that the front end is not very good. Right. So with the speed of Millie's Possession, When Doves Cry, does it possibly set up for a closer in there, such as a horse like maybe the Ice Duchess, who got shuffled back last week and came back to finish 4th here at Lexington, raced very well. I'm throwing her on the ticket along with Millie's Possession and When Doves Cry. Mike, who are you taking in leg 2?
Well, obviously, When Doves Cry is obvious, but a few chinks, recently. That Elegant Image, in the Simcoe on September 6th was pretty much beat in that race. Evident Beauty ran, and then very late to basically get lose the race because she was going by. Okay, so then she lost the next race on the 14th. To Evident Beauty. Then comes here, gets Lasix and crushes first time Lasix, but. I just feel like that this horse maybe isn't quite as good as she was back when she was winning that Hambo Oaks, and she's a little vulnerable in a very full field and a race that they're not going to let her go. So I think it's worth using others. Millie's Possession is 10 for 12. That one. But what's wrong with Asiago here from the second tier? You get T-Trick. The horse loves Lexington. Maybe it doesn't have the class that some of these other ones, but the racetrack is the ultimate trump card. And, gets a second tier type, could get a second over type trip, and she could be the one that, upsets this race at a really good price. So I would be using those horses.
I guess I don't mind Asiago from the second tier. It's just that second tier, you know what I mean? Like, where does the horse get away from there? That's going to be the tough part. But I don't blame you one bit. I'll throw that horse on just because you like that horse a little bit there. But leg number 3, which is race number 7, second to last race on the card of the meet, actually. We got a field of 7 there for the 3-year-old Pacing Colts, the Tattersall's Pace, for a purse of $270,000. This one I think looks really chalky. I don't see anybody beating Captain Crunch or Better's Wish.
Right.
One of those two are going to win this race, in my opinion, and it's second time Lasix on Captain Crunch, so that's a huge angle for me. Those of you that watch the show on a weekly basis know that is a giant angle that I take. So I'm not going against it. 5-6 for me in that third leg.
Yeah, have to agree. 5-6.
And Mike.
I just, I wouldn't sleep on the one in the race. Air Force Hanover, really had absolutely no chance in the jug the way he was driven after he went to a lard. Then, came to Lexington and finished second behind Better's Wish in an effort where it basically never left the inside. Now you got the big money on the line. You got an inside post, and you got a couple weeks in the Allard barn. If you're going to beat the top two, I think that the one is the only other one in the race, and you're going to get a price there. So that's where I would land probably.
And leg number 4, since we got about 2 minutes or so to post. Well, they're coming on the track to post parade right now, so we're getting close here. But the final leg number 4, final race of the meet. 3-year-old open trot, $450,000. This is the big one. Ken, start us off. Do you go against Green Shoe?
I think you can. I think the race is pretty wide open. I've actually gone 6 deep on my pick 4
Whoa.
ticket. I know. I just, for 4 to 5 more in line, and Green Shoe's going to get heavily bet. I think he's vulnerable here. I actually like the 1, 4, 6, 8, 9, and 12. Those were the 6 that I ended up using in here. But I think out of all of those, the horse that can possibly upset, I like Chimpanzee coming in. Second start over the Lexington Mile. Drew the 6-hole over versus the 9-hole from last time out. David Miller stuck with him. And this Chapter 7 colt has just done nothing but win. So I think if anybody's going to beat Green Shoe, it's going to be Chimpanzee.
Well, I'm too deep there. Green Shoe, obvious. You have to have him on your ticket. But another one that I'm using is Green Manalishi, who I've been on most of the season. He's coming into peak form right now. A little bit late in the season, but, for this race and the Breeders' Crown, he's going to be right there, I think, with Green Shoe. He's very tough, and he comes off of a very gutsy first over effort last week. But we got a post parade here for race number 5.
Number 1 is Shake That House, Tim Tetrick. Number 2, Can't Beach That, David Miller. Number 3, Southwind Aussie, Brian Sears. Number 4, Escape to the Beach, Andy McCarthy. Number 5, Dancin' Lou, Dexter Dunn. Number 6, De Los Cielos Deo. Say that 8 times fast. Yannick Gingras on the bike. And number 7, U.S. Captain, Matt Cayley. The Tattersall's Pace 3-year-old open.
And Mike, finish us off in that pick 4. What do you got in the last leg?
Yeah, I agree with you in there. Green Shoe's obvious, and he basically has to beat himself most times if he's going to lose. But it's hard to look past Green Manalishi, especially his last 3 races. I mean, that Simcoe this horse was airborne 3 back. Then that Canadian Trotting Classic, the horse was extremely game the entire way around. And last time was very good again, likes this racetrack. And like you said, he is tough. He's extremely, just wants to win. 19 out of 20, 1, 2, 3. So I'm 4-8 to finish there.
So we're all pretty close on our tickets. I was on a $32 play. My ticket looked like 1-3 with 2-3-4, and I threw on the 11 with the 5-6 with 4-8 for $32. It's $1 minimum pick 4 here, so it does help with the payout. Ken, you got a ticket?
I do. My ticket is, I singled the 3 here, but I'm actually, let me add the 5 on there as well. So I'm going to go 3-5 here, 3-4 in the second leg, 5-6 in the third leg, and then, like I said, 6 deep, 1, 4, 6, 8, 9, and 12 in the last leg.
And Mike?
Okay, so I was 136 here with 3411 with the 1 and the 6 in the third leg, and then the 4 and 8 is 36.
There's our pick 4 tickets. It starts right here in race number 5. And just a few minutes to post, 2 minutes to post, you can see the horses coming back by us in front of the grandstands to go behind the gate. Actually, the card is sitting over there now. Just got over there, so that means we got 2 minutes. So as soon as these guys get back there, we'll be racing. This on your camera right now, Sharton, or no, sorry, not Sharton, De Los Cielos Dale.
Sharton's so good she's going to race again.
Yeah. Here's Dancing Lou. And then the final 2 to come by here are Escape to the Beach and U.S. Captain. And then it's game on.
I have to reiterate how good Dancing Lou looked when he went by. I mean, the horse.
He did look good. I didn't include him in my pick 4, but I might just do that now for another $16.
Send it in. Double your pleasure, double your fun, as they say.
Where's the gum?
In my car. Sorry.
Come on. I am throwing him on.
The problem with this sequence is you have a lot of, you guys are relying on quite a bit of favorites, except for Ken in the last leg. So if you're going to get a start here, this might be the favorite to beat, because the other ones, I think Better Wish is going to be very tough to beat. Green Shoe's obviously going to be very tough to beat. So this first and second leg are the ones that are really going to, produce, I think, the prices.
The thing for me is, what about, a horse like Shake That House at 8-1 right now? And by the way, the rain just started back up. Of course, right when it's post time, there is 0 minutes, and the gate is moving into position for race number 5, the start of the pick 4. $10,000 guaranteed pool. The pool currently has almost $13,000 in it, so we're well over the guarantee. And they are going to the gate. You can see the gate there. Bang, bang. Let's go.
And I just heard Dave Brower mention Dancin' Lou and his speed. And I believe he said that Dancin' Lou set a record of some sort. I didn't catch what record that was, but when he won the Kentucky Sire Stakes, one of the eliminations, that was a record that won 48 and 3 miles. So that's pretty impressive for Dancin' Lou. Current third choice at 8-1 on the board. 1-9 on Southwind Aussie, where there's another bridge jumper, $14,000 show bet.
Uh-oh, here we go. This is the one to get beat.
It very well could be.
7-1 on Can't Beach That here for David Miller.
This is not the horse I would be bridge jumping on. Not at all.
Not on this racetrack.
No, not here.
And the horses are in position. The gate is in motion as they approach the start. Here they come. And they're all firing out from the outside as U.S. Captain for the lead. Matt Kakali on a mission early, trying to grab command. Along the inside of him is Dancin' Lou. Then we come back to Brian Sears and Southwind Aussie. As they motor around that turn, and U.S. Captain crosses over and clears command, but right backing out. On the move is Dancin' Lou, and Dancin' Lou now takes command. Back to second, U.S. Captain. Third is Southwind Aussie. Then we come back to Can't Beach That, Shake That House, Escape to the Beach, and De Los Cielos Deo. You can see them all. We got some movement now. They went by that quarter-mile station in 27 flat. Dancin' Lou has company in the form of Southwind Aussie. Southwind Aussie grabs command now and has it by a length. Back to second, Dancin' Lou. Back to third, U.S. Captain. Then we come back to Can't Beach That in fourth. They got to the half in 54 and 3 in the rain. And Southwind Aussie, Brian Sears shows the way. Dancin' Lou sitting chilly in second. U.S. Captain with that quick leave got away in third. And they approach that three-quarter mile station, and on top, Southwind Aussie has them by a length to Dancin' Lou. chomping on the Brian Sears helmet from the pocket. 3/4 is up in 1:23 flat, and they approach the top of the stretch. And Southwind Aussie still there. Dancing Lou looking for a seam. Nowhere to go as of yet. U.S. Captain coming through along the inside. Southwind Aussie. Dancing Lou has got that hole now, and Dancing Lou storming up the inside as they come down the Boulevard of Broken Dreams. Dancing Lou, Southwind Aussie. Dancing Lou gets it. 1:49.4. Southwind Aussie, shake that house. Can't beach that. And De Los Cielos Deo. Bang, bang.
Bang, bang right there for Ken. Dancing Lou. What'd he end up going off at?
9-1.
9-1 to start the pick 4. Big number. I'm glad I went back and threw him on my ticket.
You're welcome.
I'm not thanking anything. I didn't hit it yet.
Yes, but you're alive for the drive, as they say.
Live.
That's Dexter done again. I mean, so.
But that 9-1 got the 2-hole trip there. He
Yes.
left. He ended up with the 2-hole trip and another off-the-pace winner. And by the way, Shake That House at 11-1 raced his butt off coming first over there.
Yep, ended up third. Can't beach that fourth.
In 1:49.4.
5-3-1-2. We were hoping to have Tani come on. We might not be able to get her on now that she won, but we'll try to get some sort of an interview here.
Got all kinds of new stuff I'm taking home.
How far will this reach? How far?
Pretty far. Yeah, you can take that out there.
If I can catch her. Yeah, she's gonna be on the way up the track.
You want something to drink?
Yes, please. Returning to the winner's circle, Dancin' Lou. 3-year-old bay colt by Sweet Lou out of the Cambest mare Dance with the Best. Owned by the David C. Cryway of Amherstburg, Ontario. And the 1362313 Ontario Limited Corporation. Trained by Tani Camilleri. Driven by Dexter Dunn. Covered that mile in 1:49.4. Taking the Tattersall's pace for 3-year-olds. Tani Camilleri giving Dancin' Lou a kiss in the winner's circle. She's ecstatic to win this race here today. $270,000 purse. The Australian-born trainer has been in the United States for about a year. Came from the East Coast to race here in Lexington with Dancin' Lou and her stable of, I believe, 5 or 6 horses she has. $20.40 to win. Let's see if I can get money on the microphone here. that I did? Okay. I wasn't sure if you guys heard it. I went down to the winner's circle. She's going to try to come down and see us here after she gets a chance to. Oh, we look ahead here to race 6, and that is the 3-year-old fillies. Field of 11. Current favorite on the board is the 4, When Doves Cry, for Renee Allard, Simon Allard. Yeah, 1 to 2 is a little short. I mean, I do like the horse, and I think she's going to be tough to beat. Renee said she scored down terrific for him. Second time LASIK, so we know that angle. I've obviously Rod already mentioned that, but you know, for a field of 11, there's some really nice mares in here, so it's going to be really interesting race to see what happens, especially being a speed horse of sorts. Not sure that she's going to be able to cut the mile out and hold on late. Yeah, 10 to 1 on that one. And also another second time LASIK horse, Beautiful Sin. That was my long shot play of the day. No, not at all. 7 to 2 on the board, so didn't expect that at all. Yeah, we got 5 minutes on the board, so about 7 minutes to post, give or take. Steady rain, not too heavy. It's just kind of like a light, misty type rain here and there. Once in a while, we get a couple of heavy drops come down, but it's pretty consistent. The track is kind of muddy, but not really. It was sealed pretty well, so it looks like it's holding water really well right now. Thank you.
Best horses are winning most of the time. The pick 5 is very hard. And the 11 actually took quite a bit of money in the pick 5. Is the third choice.
Mike, you're really quiet now.
Okay. Well, turn me up, Rod.
You're all the way up. You're all the way up. I can't go up any farther.
Roll your window down and yell out the window.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
I got to go down to the winner's circle and do a quick interview. I don't know if they heard it, but I tried. She said she will try to come over and see us. So.
Taking a look at the feed real quick, Chris Christoforou says, great call on Dancing Lou.
Thank you.
And no, I didn't say thank you, Terry.
I like Terry.
Terry's good people.
Yes.
Terry is very good. He won the Dead Heat contest for Western Fair on Friday night. Bang, bang. But we also got to say that the rain starting back up again, unfortunately. It stopped for a while there. Like, I left and it was good to go. And then as soon as I get back under the tent, it started to back up. So I'll take that instead of being out in it.
It's fun because, we have this tent set up and, people don't realize we have a camera pointing behind us. And we get these looky-loos that just stop under the tent because it's raining. And just random guys wearing weird things, shorts that they shouldn't be wearing, whatever. Interesting characters behind us. So
And I do want to say, this hat I'm wearing, totally appropriate today. In case you didn't know. Bang, bang. Lex Vegas. That's how we do it. But, what's that?
I said that's one of like the 3 hats you have.
I have, like 25 hats at home. No, well, to the shows, yeah.
Let's just all say we're glad that he's wearing a hat.
Yeah. Don't nobody want to see my bald ass head? Ken. But 2 minutes of post here, well, 1 minute it's saying they're out for the post parade, and 1-2 currently on When Doves Cry.
Yeah,
A little short.
Emily Hay says we look so serious we need to crack a smile.
That's not me. I don't.
Cheers, Emily.
I don't smile, except when I'm laughing. But we do want to give a quick shout out. John Campbell's going to swing by here after the last race.
Sweet.
We might be off air by then, but he's going to swing by. Got other business matters there with the Hambletonian Society and post parade. We got post parade. Here we go.
Number 1 is Westland Quest for Scott Zeron. The Ice Duchess, Yannick Gingras. Millie's Possession, Dexter Dunn. When Doves Cry, Simon Allard. Starita, David Miller. Seaside Bliss, Matt Kikali. Miss Trixton, Brian Sears. Princess Deo, Andrew McCarthy. Beautiful Sin, Ake Svanstead. Golden Tricks, Andy Miller. And Asiago, Great Cheese, Tim Tetrick.
Who's starting from? So just a couple minutes to post here for race number 6, the Kentucky Filly Futurity. You just saw.
The glaring thing right now is you got Millie's Possession glaring 11-1 on the board.
11-1 is way too high on Millie's Possession.
I would say dead on the board. Completely dead on the board.
Well, I mean, they kind of like her on the smaller track better. Whereas a horse like...
What the horse was winning Meadowlands all year long, was second in the Oaks, is 10 for 12 on wins. I mean, then this horse is 10-1 in this race when it's never been above even money? I mean, getting Lasix?
Well, you got to remember, too. I mean, yeah, it is second time Lasix, or first time Lasix, sorry. It's also second time Lasix on When Doves Cry. And When Doves Cry took the early money in the betting. So I think that's the difference right now, because you're starting to see Millie's Possession drift down just a hair here, down to 7-1.
2-1 in the race.
Am I seeing 2-1 on the 9?
Yeah.
Beautiful Sin.
6-1 in the race.
That was my long shot pick of the day. Second time Lasix. 8-1 morning line, and we're 2-1.
Yeah. I mean, if you can take 2-1 there, good luck. I can't.
Yeah, I wouldn't be taking 2-1 on this Svanstedt horse. I mean, we've mentioned it before. Svanstedt horses come here ready, and that's no secret. But this one from the 9 hole, I get it, second time Lasix, coming off a win. But I'm against that at 2-1. They're there's no way. I mean, I'm not playing that at 2-1. And the horse doesn't really have a ton of gate speed, so. This track is getting a little bit sloppier. The rain's a little heavier now. Hopefully the storm passes quickly. Let go. Mike, what would you be playing in this race for exotics? I mean, there's a pick 3.
I would pitch the 3 altogether for one, because the horse is not taking a nickel. So I wouldn't use that horse at all. I would try to, see what I could do with the 11. I maybe used the 2 underneath now, with some of the others in here. I mean, you're getting 60 to 1 there. I don't mind that. The 4 is obvious. So I would probably surround myself with those. The money on the 9 is crazy. I mean, that's a lot of money on that horse. I would think that horse is probably going to hit the board. And maybe the 10. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the 10 in the race. Was second to the favorite last time. Kicked 26 and 2. Does move outside. Gets a driver switch. I don't hate that. Andy Miller won with this horse at Yonkers on August the 31st. You're getting a price on that horse also, 75 to 1. You could get some supers with, if you get the 3 out of the ticket, you get the 2 or the 10 in there, you're going to get paid.
Well, the rain's coming down a little bit heavier now. The gate is going to be rolling here in a second. We're trying to protect our equipment. If we can't, we're moving this stuff back. Our tent is trying to pee on us. What?
In typical NAHU, we have AV issues. What a shock.
Gate is moving into position now. You can see it rolling right there.
I think Rod should call this race.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you want me to call an 11-horse field? Sure. I can't call a 6-horse field.
What's up, my man?
How are you, sir?
Good,
you? Field is approaching the start for the 6th.
You call it the internet, aren't you?
Getting rain in my beer.
I'm getting flies on my legs.
Maybe you should shower more often.
4 hours ago is enough.
Field of 11 behind the gate. I'll try not to choke on you while I'm calling this race. And they're off from the outside. Beautiful Sin trying for command in between horses. When Doves Cry on the far outside is Golden Tricks. As they motor around that turn in the rain. And up front early is When Doves Cry. Simon Allard shows the way. Dropping into the 2-hole is Beautiful Sin. Hitting away in third, the Ice Duchess. Then we come back to Millie's Possession. Westland Quest. Golden Tricks, Asiago. The Ice Duchess, Seaside Bliss. Miss Trixton. And Princess Deo, they went to the quarter mile in 27 and 1. And up front, When Doves Cry shows the way. We got movement on the outside by Millie's Possession. Dexter Dunn moving up. He's now third, now second. When Doves Cry looking for that challenger, Millie's Possession. They went by that half-mile marker in 55 and 2. When Doves Cry's got him by a length. Up and at him on the outside, Millie's Possession. Then along the inside is Beautiful Sin, Westland Quest, and Golden Tricks. As they come to that three-quarter mile marker, they got to the 3/4 in a quick 1:22 and 2, and When Doves Cry looking to slam the door on this group. When Doves Cry sprinting away a bit, but When Doves Cry, and on the outside, we have a challenger with Millie's Possession, and Millie's Possession goes right on by Beautiful Sin on the outside. Beautiful Sin. The Ice Duchess. When Doves Cry. And Starita. 150-1. Through the rain.
150-1 downpour. You could see the rain on the camera. Well, the
3/4 and 22-2 did him in.
the money that was bet on the 9 had to make you think that horse was good.
The money was showed early. We talked about this when Ken was talking. He liked the 9, but the money showed early, and it stayed. The horse was 2-1 whenever they were, getting ready to roll the gate. Okay, and then we said, okay, who were the prices to use underneath? The 2 finished the second at 33-1, and the 10 at 66-1 gets 4th. And I said, pitch the 3. Okay, completely dead on the board. Pitch that horse. The horse is 2-1 on the board, was 10-1 with 3 minutes to the race. You're telling me this horse is any good? No, out. This is a massive super if you paid attention.
But the 9 wins race number 6. Beautiful Sin, 7-2 odds. Unbelievable.
And a new lifetime mark in the slop, 150-1.
Big mile, actually. They were rocking around that last turn. They went a pretty good tempo down the backside, 55-2 to the half. And then they really picked it up, 122-2.
Mike, maybe you can look this up for us. What is the record for a 3-year-old filly trotter?
I believe that was broken this year. If I'm not mistaken, When Doves Cry has it. 150-2.
She's got 150-1.
Last time.
I think that equaled the mark.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So that equals the world record. Maybe Ray can chime in if Ray's watching. We know he's riding for. He's currently riding for the Red Mile, so maybe Ray can chime in here and
confirm that for us.
Confirm.
I make no excuses for that poor race call, by the way. That stretch drive was brutal.
Well, we are in a pretty tough spot.
I can't see crap with the car in my way and the rain.
But that was a quick third quarter, 27 flat. I mean, they were smoking around that last turn.
Crazy.
And that was into the wind.
Yes.
The wind kind of died down a little bit, but, still, it was into the wind and pouring down rain. So, I mean, that's not going to be where a filly wants to be on the lead.
No.
But you're taking a look at the winner's circle presentation for Beautiful Sin. Svanstedt wins again.
3-year-old bay filly by Muscle Hill out of the Cantab Hall mare Cena. Second time Lasix for Beautiful Sin. Second time driven by Ake Svanstedt. Back-to-back victories in the Bluegrass State.
Prices are up. And yeah, Chris Christopher is still watching, by the way. He says 3/4 was way too much in a downpour. Yeah, I completely agree with you, Chris. That was a wicked third quarter, and I didn't see any reason for it. There was nobody challenging.
If anybody's a good judge of pace, it's him, because he's one of the best drivers for sitting and then just coming with this massive run. That's his, like, he can do it anyway, but that's one of his known things, that he can sit and then just come and blast them late. So one of the best judges of pace there is up there. There's no question about it.
But we got prices here for race number 6. By the way, the pick 5 paid $729.
Super at 9.49. 947.
$9.47 for 20 cents.
Extremely hittable.
And you know what's really sick? I had the 2 in the pick 4. I didn't have the 9.
But I know Ken did. Ken is crushing this pick 4.
But, by the way, oh, that's irritating.
The trotting mile on a mile track for 3-year-old filly, the mark was 149.4, so no record there. But
well, yeah, Ake has that one too.
Plunge Blue Chip and
Plunge
I'm
Blue Chip
pick
last
2.
year.
It was a tie between those two.
But prices for race number 6, Beautiful Sin, $9, $7.40, $2.40. $1 exact at 9.2 pays $105.20. $1 trifecta 924 pays $366.10. The 20-cent super $947.74, and the pick 5 $729.40. If you had that pick 5, you did really well because that was tough to have.
Yeah, unfortunately, I didn't wager.
But only 2 races left. And I don't know if you guys can hear it or not, but even though it's raining pretty good now,
The crowd under the grandstand over the overhang is really large. Like, nice
yeah,
crowd.
There's a very big crowd here today, and with every horse that comes out of the winner's circle, there's a big round of applause for every single one of them,
Right.
whether they win the non-winners of 4 or they win, the Tattersalls.
Right. And the nice thing about the Red Mile this time of year, the Grand Circuit, they're in competition with Keeneland. Keeneland's racing during the day.
Yep, Keeneland's going right now.
And, Keeneland gets a pretty good crowd as well. Obviously, better crowd usually than the Red Mile, but we have a really loyal crowd here at the Red Mile for Grand Circuit, and a lot of out-of-towners, a lot of foreigners, from out of the country. So it's really cool to be here and experience this culture during this time.
Yeah, this is a great time, and that's why I agreed to do this show again because, it's not like we're making a ton of money here.
Right.
Or any, really. So,
Right.
It's always fun to come down here and to do the show. It's great to be here and the atmosphere. My family, half my family is from Kentucky, so Kentucky is like a second type of home, and it's a great place. The whole entire area is just horse farms. It's all it is.
Are you part hillbilly?
Yeah, I am. I'm a lot hillbilly.
We could look ahead now to race 7, the Tattersall's Pace, 3-year-old Open. Mike, you were saying something? Sorry, I overrode you.
I love Lexington. I just love it. I love it there.
By the way, if we lose power, it's because our outlet is being rained on at the moment.
Good thing we have a surge protector. Save my
They don't exactly work in a flood, Rod.
Well, you never know.
I mean, we're plugged into an outlet that was made in 1939.
And that's being
Generous.
modest.
Yeah. Might have been 1889.
Yeah, this was the first outlet.
Could have been Alexander Graham Bell and Thomas Edison installed that. We don't know.
They weren't born yet.
I don't know.
We'll have to get a shot of the outlet before we get off the air.
Anyway, we got a field of 7 coming up. Obvious favorites in here. Captain Crunch, second-time Lasix for Nancy Johansson. Scott Zeron in the bike from post 5. And post 6, Better's Wish. Dexter Dunn looking for another victory on the day. 5 wins in his last 6 starts. And Better's Delight coming off a back-to-back victories here at the Red Mile in 148-1 and 148-3.
Mike, start us off here. What do you like?
Well, I mean, I like Better's Wish. I think he loves this racetrack. He's been here quite a bit, and he's been dominating. When you said that the Southland Aussie was 3-year-old pace of the year, I disagree. I think I think it's Better's Wish. I think he's been the most consistent.
Well, I'll say
Had
this.
the best races.
I'll say this, Mike. Southwind Ozzy because he's won the big races. That's what he's winning.
Okay, he won the jug, he won the audios. I got you there. Okay, but Better's Wish, won, his share of big races also. He's 10 for 14, and in the races that he lost, he was, gutted. So,
Can we get a shot of that on air? Seriously, come here with that. Come here with that.
A horse shows more defeat than they do winning, and I just feel like he's been the best horse all year. He loves it here. And I think he's definitely the one to beat. Captain Crunch tailed off somewhat, so much so that he ended up with Lasix in his last start, and it still didn't help. He couldn't beat Working on a Mystery. A lot of times the races he's beat, Better's Wish, he's had perfect trips, so I'm sort of against him, and I'll use the Allard horse, Air Force Hanover, who I think is the other horse that has a chance to win the race, was second behind Better's Wish last time, draws inside. I expect full try in here, and the horse is taking money early. Opened at 7-2, currently 5-1.
Well, 5-1. I think 5-1's a fair price. But a horse like American Mercury, he's got the inside. Tyler Buter stays to drive. He comes off a very sharp win last time, and he won that pretty handily in 49. It won 49 and change last quarter in 25-3. I expect him to be pretty solid again. Let's get another handicapper here. Let's give you a different perspective. Derek Givner, jump in. What do you see in this race outside of Captain Crunch and Better's Wish?
It's hard to go outside of Captain Crunch and Better's Wish. I think American Mercury is certainly the one you have to look to if you're going outside of it. Interestingly enough, my pick 4 ticket did not have Better's Wish on it, mainly because I feel like speed's not doing very well on this track right now. It seems to be, a little bit tiring since the rains really started to set in, and I figured Better's Wish to be on the lead, and I figured him to be 3-5, and it seemed like to make sense to go against them.
I tend to agree with you, actually, with Better's Wish being on the lead, and the speed is not holding up today at all, so that's a good bet against. Although I was live after the first leg. Ken loved the 5 in the front leg, and I didn't use Svanstedt in the last leg. That was stupid.
Oh, that's tough. Actually, the 3 horses I liked best finished 1, 2, 3 in that race because I thought the Ice Duchess could step up because we know how good of a horse she is, and when you're going to get a huge price on her, it's worthwhile. And the way this track is playing right now, this track historically, when the first little bit of water gets on it, it's really fast, like most tracks are when they get rain on it. But like the Meadowlands, no matter how much it rains, it keeps getting faster and faster and faster.
Yeah.
This place isn't like that. It gets softer and softer and softer, and it just, for whatever reason, it gives horses coming from off the pace a much better chance.
Well, I think it's got a little bit to do with the crown. Most tracks have their crown, which is like the peak height of the racetrack. Most tracks you see have that crown out toward like the 8 or 9 path. This track is like the 6 path is where it's at. So I think that might have a little bit of a factor there where the outside plays a little bit better down the stretch where it's not so tiring.
Yeah, and the clay surface obviously as well. I mean, it's going to get softer much quicker than a stone dust track. And I mean, looking at it, it doesn't look super soft, but it's a lot different when you got a 1,000-pound animal, banging on it rather than just me, let's say.
Yeah, and I briefly touched on this earlier. 2 races ago, they were kind of bouncing off the track. It was really, really fast. Now you're not hearing them bounce off it anymore. Where, like you mentioned, it's kind of softened up.
Yeah, and it's just the nature of this particular surface. It's great with a little bit of rain. It's great when it's dry, and when it gets too wet, it's not so good. And we really haven't had that much rain. It hasn't been too bad as far as I'm concerned.
It's enough for me. You can see my camera right there that I still got out in the rain. I don't like it. I like it when it's sunny.
You have it insured, maybe? Can you insure
no,
a camera?
That
Or is that one of those $15.99 deals in
it's a
Target?
little more than $15.99, but it's not real expensive, so no, it's not insured.
All right, then I'm not going to worry about it too much for you.
But American Mercury, what do you think of him? Mike's on American Mercury and Air Force Hanover a little bit here.
I'm just not sure Air Force Hanover is quick enough yet. I'm not there yet with him. American Mercury, yeah, I think I've seen enough for him where I would feel reasonably confident playing him. And you know what? Just skipping ahead to the futurity, the race after that. You know what? I wouldn't be shocked if Don't Let Him race as well. He's adding the trotting hobbles. We know he's fast enough. This track is not going to be in the favor of the fact that Green Shoe is faster than everyone. It's going to slow him down that little bit that maybe another horse needs to beat him. I'm not saying he's going to lose, but I'm saying a surface like this isn't to his advantage.
Yeah, I agree 100% on that.
Go for 4 and off track. So, I mean, he's going to have to show something with the track being wet for me to be that interested.
He says he's 0 for 4. Don't let him 0 for 4 on the off track.
Well, not with hobbles though.
The trotting hobbles do make a difference, but I mean, we just saw the screen go by here. They are out in post parading for race number 7, by the way. The screen just went by and literally just kicked the stones up. This track is rock hard right now. So they're going to go a fast mile in this race, I think. As long as they stay off the rail. The rail looks really soft. So that plays to what we've been talking about most of the day with these closers.
I mean, you could
The
just take a look at the footprints. You
Yeah.
could see how deep they are.
Yeah.
Down
Down inside, they're really deep. And then the further out you come,
Yeah.
you can't even see them.
I mean, it's much harder, obviously, out here. But down on the rail, you could see it looks like a half-inch deep. Those
Yeah.
footprints are. That says a soft track.
Yeah. Track looks very, very soft, especially down. The closer to the rail you are, I think the more tiring it's going to be for a horse. So I wouldn't be surprised if you see an outside horse like maybe Captain Crunch just go out there and stay off the rail the entire way because it just looks tiring. What do you think, Ken?
Yeah, I agree, and the track usually does get that way. It's amazing though at how hard they have this track right now. Usually when it rains like it is, this track gets really deep quick. It's deeper than it was when we started the day, but they're really not punching through it all that much here, watching them go by.
You can see the post parade there. Derek, we know you've been playing here. When did you get in town, by the way?
Tuesday afternoon.
So you've been here all week, wasting time, and now you're on the last 2 races of the entire meet, so everything's paying out. What are your last plays?
Honestly, I'm going to watch this race, and I'm alive in the pick 4, which I would imagine is, looking at a decent ticket at this point,
Yeah.
beating the 2 favorites. And so I'm going to watch this race. I'm going to hope that Better's Wish goes down to either Captain Crunch or American Mercury. And then, you know what, I'll take my chances with Green Shoe and Don't Let Him and see where that takes me. It really wasn't a card where, you really want. I felt comfortable, betting hard on anything. Most of the races, there were 2 favorites where you had to choose between the 2. And even the race, the first leg of I think it was the first leg with Dancing Lou won. Even there, I was split between a couple of horses, off Southwind Ozzy, but split between 2 horses, so I didn't feel comfortable stepping out on either one. So I just used them both in the pick 4, and that's where we stand there. So what'll likely happen is I'll hit 3 out of 4, have 3 long shots along the way, and get nothing. That's racing for you.
Yeah, that's typical. But Derek, we want to thank you for coming on, definitely, and we're getting ready to go to the gate here for race number 7. Only 2 races left in the meet. Get your final bets in. The starting car is about to move into position here in about 20 seconds.
We'll see you at the Breeders' Crown, I guess.
Oh, absolutely. Derek Givner, everybody. Mike, final thoughts on this race. Hurry up.
I do like Better's Wish, but I also like Air Force Hanover. He definitely has a chance to get a good piece of this.
And Ken.
Well, I went with a 5-6-1-2. I'm just going to point out a little tidbit of information on Captain Ahab. His dam, Aquavella.
No cussing.
Yeah, sorry, excuse me. Aquavella was a Kentucky-sired mare that raced here in Lexington, and she actually liked an off track. So This would be interesting at 79 gazillion to 1.
A little backstory there, pedigree story. I like it.
7 out of 9 last year in the win column for Captain Ahab. So you never know when this horse could round back into form.
I went ahead and bet the 5 to win here. I think the price is too good on Captain Crunch to pass up at this point. And second time Lasix, that's my angle. Here we go for race number 7 from the Red Mile.
Rod, you calling this one?
No.
Here we go for the Tattersall's Pace 3-year-old open. And they're off. Captain Crunch tries for command down along the inside. Air Force Hanover. American Mercury. Then we come back to Waterway. On the outside, Better's Wish. Taking a tuck, Captain Ahab and Semi-Tough. As they motor around the turn and head towards the backstretch. Captain Crunch takes command over Air Force Hanover. Back to third, American Mercury. Then we come back to Waterway. Better's Wish. Semi-Tough. Captain Ahab can see them all as they motor by that quarter-mile station in 26 and 3. Captain Crunch shows the way. Scotty Z up front, looking comfortable on the lead. Air Force Hanover is second. Third is American Mercury. Fourth is Waterway. Moving to the outside, here comes Better's Wish. And that move flushes out American Mercury from the 3-hole. 55 seconds to that half-mile station, and Captain Crunch on the lead, but there goes American Mercury. Better's Wish is now uncovered, first up. As American Mercury crossed over and took command, Better's Wish is now second on the outside, back to third, Captain Crunch. As they go to the 3/4 miles in 1:21 and 3. Slop, what slop? It's all American Mercury on the lead. Up on the outside, Better's Wish challenging, and Better's Wish takes over. As they approach the finish, and it is Better's Wish racing that timer now. Better's Wish on top. And it is all Better's Wish. Captain Crunch with a late bid, but Better's Wish hangs on. 1:48 and 4. Dexter Dunn getting it done on Better's Wish.
Perfect drive, perfect drive.
Junk.
Not junk. It's the best horse he won.
I needed the 5 to come back there. I bet 20 to win on the 5. He was 9 to 2. The odds were too good.
Top 3, 6-5-1.
Well, that was a little chalky. They can't all be decent prices. But solid day so far here at the Red Mile.
I think that the one that's taken the worst of this track today with the rain is the starting car.
Yeah.
It's no longer white, it's bright red.
And by the way, Better's Wish, known for being a front ender, he took off. He took off. I mean,
second over, ended up first over, cleared to the top, and just drew off.
it wasn't even a difficult decision for him. I mean, he did that perfectly, knowing that the front end is no good.
Dexter Dunn with another one.
Dexter, did you pull off the pace because you knew the track was like that?
Yeah, I just thought it was going to be a bit of early speed, and you know, I took him back last time and he raced really good doing that, so it's tough hitting today.
Perfect.
Really tough. He had a big day today.
Congrats.
Good job.
So if you couldn't hear him, he's got a strong Australian accent. Basically, he said he knew that the track was playing from the back, and he had raced him from the back before, so he said, why not?
Is he Australian or New Zealand?
Same thing.
Don't tell the Aussies that.
Like I said, top three driver in the country.
And yes, watching the feed here, Chris Christoforou says the trip Crunch should have got. I agree 100%.
1,000%.
That is exactly the trip that I thought that Captain Crunch was going to get in that race, and Better's Wish ended up getting it and pulling off the win because he got that trip. But Captain Crunch raced huge on the lead. I didn't expect him to go.
Yeah, we had some levers in there that I didn't even expect to call when I was announcing the race. So
Right.
you just never know these days. You got to watch them off the car and adjust accordingly. American Mercury fired out of there pretty strongly as well for Tyler Bueter. And I don't even think got a check. I think ended up fifth or sixth maybe. Semi-Tough ended up fourth in there. 6.514, I believe.
Yeah, Australia, New Zealand, I don't care. It's the same thing. To me. China, Japan, same.
Really?
Mexico. I'm just going to keep going until somebody says something.
We just let you keep tightening that noose around your neck.
But we have prices now. Better's Wish 260, 210, 210. Captain Crunch was second. Air Force Hanover was third. 6.5 exacta, $6.80 it looks like. $1 try. 6.51, $13.50, and the 20-cent super 6.514, $11.18. One race left. That's it. Whew.
One to go.
The big one.
And you know, the funny thing, it's 3:26, so they're about on the schedule. We knew they would slow it down a little bit. But luckily, the rain has started to subside for now.
They're an hour ahead. 4:30 was scheduled post time for 8. Yeah, they're an hour ahead.
Good. No, that schedule's wrong because if you think about it, if they run every 20 minutes, 1 o'clock was the first race, 2 o'clock second race, or 2 o'clock was the fourth race, the seventh race at 3 o'clock, so they're actually behind schedule.
You got a second? Yeah. You want to do a quick interview? Yeah. You care?
Jump in.
Flip that camera around.
You what? Yeah. Sit down.
What do you want to talk about? Sire Stakes program and stuff. I know the Kentucky program overall. Guys, we are joined here with Mark Guilfoyle from the Kentucky Horse Racing Commission. How are you, Mark?
I'm doing good. Yourself?
Doing wonderful. Glad to see you. I don't get to come back to my roots here very often, but I'm glad to be here today for this great day of racing. Talk to us about the Kentucky program and how it's improved and how it's continuing to evolve.
Yeah, it's been several years ago, probably 6 or 7 years ago, we did the dual eligibility, sort of just trying to think outside the box, and it's actually worked out very well. It's showing up, obviously at the sales. The horses that we have participating in the program has made it really strong. With Oak Grove, Kentucky coming on, they start racing Friday. There'll be, once they get their historical horse racing up, there'll probably be probably $3 to $5 million in the program. So we're going to be in a situation where we got to think outside the box again, because we're going to have a really good abundance of money for that. Whether we expand it, how we do these races. Obviously, we will race them for more money. So $250,000 for the finals now. Obviously that'll go up, but we want to think of more importantly than the purse is going up, more racing opportunities for these horsemen out there.
And talk to us about Oak Grove. I know you said they're opening next week. What kind of setup are they going to have to start out? I know it's all new and they're still in the process of building and whatnot.
Yeah, it's basically a construction zone right now. We got 12 days of racing there. It's going to be overnight racing. Minimum purse $5,000. They'll have $62,500 a day for 12 days, and we're basically just going to get down there and try to get this meet. I don't want to say out of the way, but just get this meet under our belt. And then so we can hit back next year where they'll have the historical horse racing facility built and whatnot. We're excited. We're partners. We as in Standardbred partners with Churchill Downs. On a 50-50 split. And I mean, 10 years ago, if somebody would have told me that, I would have thought, no, that's not going to happen. But they've been good partners so far, and they'll continue to be good partners.
And I've got to say, TaylorMade's got to have some influence into that. I mean, with them crossing over into standardbred racing somewhat. I mean,
Right, there's several people. Kenny Jackson with Kentuckiana's got Gatewood Bell and Brett Jones and several of the people from the thoroughbred world into the standardbred on some syndicates, and they've started out with 5 horses, and to the best of my knowledge, they've won money. They're excited because they get to see their horses race once a week. So it's we're forming partnerships with the thoroughbreds like never before, and it's a good thing for all of racing. Good thing for Kentucky.
And with the Oak Grove project, I assume they've got the barn area at least built up for the horsemen to ship into.
Yeah, what they've got there is they've got 127 stall paddock, all enclosed, and they also have 170 stall shipping barn for the people to come in. There's some county fairs around the area if somebody wants to stay off grounds, but they'll allow the horsemen in there on Thursday night until Thursday evening, and they'll stay until Sunday, and the same next year.
Gotcha. Well, we appreciate you stopping by and talking to us about the program. We're really excited to see how it continues to develop. I know as a former board member, I'm excited to see it. So, we really look forward to what the future holds here in Kentucky.
Well, thanks for having me. And the future's bright. It really is. I've been around since 1987, and I smile. Yeah. I smile. I smile on the standardbred. The young guy always says that.
Rod's dating himself over here. He was born in '87.
I'm a '63 model, but anyway, things are looking really good in Kentucky. They really are. It's we've just about got it what I call bulletproof, and give us a couple, 3 more years, and we'll have it bulletproof.
That's awesome. Well, we appreciate it again. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What you're going out and streaming to?
We're streaming live on Facebook, YouTube.
I think I might have heard you in the judges stand. They were listening to something because it wasn't the announcers talking. Right. And I think I can hear y'all in the background talking. Yeah. The '87 model here.
Right. Thanks, Mark. Well, that was Mark Guilfoyle with the Kentucky Horse Racing Commission. Had to pull him aside and get some information for our fans about the new Oak Grove facility opening up, and as well as the Kentucky program itself.
Yeah, a lot of good info there, and especially if you have horses where a meet just ended, you definitely want to check that out. Oak Grove starts up next week. We got 6 minutes to post until the final race number 8 today here at the Red Mile, and it's been a great day. But we're going to close it out with some winners. Close out the entire meet with some winners.
Can we beat Green Shoe?
We're going to try to beat Green Shoe. I think this is the type of day, the type of setup the Green Shoe can get beat.
1-9.
He is 1-9 expected. I mean, he's supposed to be. But my horse, Green Manalishi, 23-1 right now. I'm liking it. Yeah, it will come down. But currently 23-1.
7-1. I'll take that.
I mean, you got 50-1 there. I've been on this horse all year. He might be just a couple of the bigger ones, but this horse kicks every time. He likes Lexington, has raced well here so far. Just missed the Green Manalishi back last time, too far back. The place is favoring, from the back. 1-for-1 on an off track. There's a lot to like about this horse, especially lightly raced later in the season. Could get a trip. You're getting 50. I'll take 50 on this horse.
No, I think if you're going to try to beat Green Shoe, you got to take a price. So, I mean, everybody's a price.
Everybody's a price. 6-1 even is nice.
But I'm going with Green Manalishi. I think he's going to go off somewhere around 10-1, 8-10-1, because Green Shoe is going to be probably 1-5 or 1-2. So, I do expect that Green Manalishi goes down in price, but I think he's worth a win bet. He's in very, very good form. He's coming off of 3 straight wins and a second prior to that. He hasn't missed a board in, 2 months? So, I like his form. He's very sharp. Gutsy first over effort last time. I'm going to take that into consideration here. Think he comes from off the pace, and we see him fly by him late.
Well, Jim Panzee coming out of his last start in the Bluegrass and 150-3, second to Green Shoe last time out. Was cutting into the margin, had post 9, got away 5th. came uncovered and just could not get to Green Shoe. Came a last quarter, though, faster than Green Shoe, 26-3. Perhaps if David Miller can get away a little bit closer, doesn't have to be much closer. I think the way the track is playing today, I think Jim Panzi upsets the Green Shoe here today. Mike?
So what are you live to? Here, let's look. Ken, for your who do you have here for your world page?
Who do you have in the pick 4?
In the pick 4, I had the 1, 4, 6, 8, 9, and 12.
Okay, I'm not sure how you could have the 1 because it's 3 out of 4. So apparently you didn't punch his ticket, so we'll just stop this.
Why is there no... Oh, it didn't switch. I'm like, where's the wheel pays? Giant. They're giant. 3 out of 4s. You can see the starting gate right there getting ready to roll by us here in a second. Because they are getting ready. They're out to post parade as the last little bit of rain comes down. It'll probably stop 5 minutes after the last race finishes.
Pick 4 with Green Shoe, currently $305.90. That's pretty good.
No, I think that's pretty good. Yeah. And you're paying large for 3 out of 4. Which, by the way, I was, if I were to use Fonstedt in the second leg, I'd be live to the 4 and 8 here, which are paying huge.
So what you're saying is if you would have followed my long shot play of the day, you'd be alive.
Yeah.
My long
What'd you
shot.
say, Mike?
I said if Ken punched his ticket, he'd be alive to half the field for some of them for the pool.
Yeah, if you punched your ticket, Ken, you'd be live to half the field.
I know.
And a pool shot. A pool shot of the 1.
Right.
But the 10 right now is also a pool shot. But we've got a post parade here. Final race of the meet. Everything is mandatory payout, so make sure if you're betting today, get that. Super High 5 must pay out in this race. I think that's actually a good bet. 20-cent minimum High 5. Mike, if you're playing the High 5, how are you going to play it here? Field of 12.
Yeah, I mean, I probably, I mean, you know, I would probably use the 4, the 8, and maybe the 9 on top here, especially for a 20-cent minimum, and try to get one of those 3 to run second, and then spread out in the third hole. You know, I'm not crazy about the 5 in the race. You know, underneath, I could see maybe a little 3. I mean, that horse likes to come from off of it and has, you know, some history at this racetrack. That's another horse I would try to get in the mix there. So that's how I would be structuring my tickets.
I've got a High 5 ticket for you. Punch this up and tell me what this one costs. If you key Green Shoe and Green Manalishi for second and fourth, and you go all first, third, and fifth, what's that cost?
Hold on. If you do what?
If you go all in the first leg,
Okay.
with the 4 and 8 in the second and the fourth leg, and all in the other legs.
$288.
So for $288, let's take a stab at that ticket right there. All 4-8, all 4-8, all.
Mike, punch it.
Punch it, Mike. 288.
I'm not punching that.
I'm good for it.
I bet you are.
I got that in my wallet.
Just take it off the winnings. By the way, the track did get pretty sloppy.
Yeah,
Spe-
still rock hard.
it is rock hard, especially in the middle of the track. And that's where you're going to see the winner in this race, middle of the racetrack. Do you agree with that, Mike?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, the racetrack looks horrible on TV. So.
Well, by the way, Green Shoe, he's not all revved up like he was at Meadowlands on Hambo Day for the final. If you remember, those of you that were watching, I know. Oh, and Terry said he's not punching that either. If you remember, you can see a couple horses coming right in front of us here. But I do want to say that as far as the show went, Ken punched his ticket. He punched. Yeah. Hey, if he hits, he's cashing. But I do have to say that it stayed pretty cool today. And we can't get off the air without getting a little NAHU t-shirt action here. Let's see it.
Jamie Lang from the USTA represent.
By the way,
house.
That tank top says it's a NAHU shirt that says hashtag bang bang as she turns her head.
I like how north is stretched.
I don't even know what's going on right now.
Ken said he likes how north is stretched. But now we're actually about a minute to post. Starting car is going to start moving here in a second for the final race of the meet. The big one, $450,000.
Now can we swing the camera around real quick, Rod? I got somebody here I got to introduce. Tell us your name and who you played for.
I'm Terry Miller. I'm here in Lexington, Kentucky. I played for the St. Louis Football Cardinals and Detroit Lions. About 7 years between the two of them. Fooled them for a while and got the heck beat out of me and came down here.
And you love harness racing, don't
I've
you?
been in a harness all my life. My dad, we trained horses on a farm in Illinois when I was small and been around the racetrack all my life.
Well, that's awesome. See, you meet all kinds of people here at the Red Mile. And Terry's a longtime friend. We've been wagering down here together for quite a long time, so it's always good to see some good faces.
I remember now.
Good to see you, Terry.
You too, thanks.
The starting gate is in position for the final race here at the Red Mile. Here we go. One last call, Ken.
Field of 12. This should be an interesting race call, since I can't see crap. I got cameramen in my way. I've got rain in my way. I've got mud.
Don't worry about it.
I didn't mean to move. You're fine.
I'm not moving, so.
And I got Rod's head in the way. I can see the first 4 horses inside the gate. That's it. And they're off. And Down along the inside, Marseille tries for the lead. Far outside, Chimpanzee, Green Manalishi, and Pilot Discretion all trying for command early. And this field of muddy trotters motors around the turn, and Marseille shows the way, but Company's coming on the outside. And it looks like Green Manalishi gets to the top. And Green Manalishi has the lead. Back in second is Marseille, and on the outside, Chimpanzee. Back and forth is Chin Hall. And moving on the outside now and taking over is Chimpanzee for the lead. They approach that half-mile station, and Chimpanzee on the lead, a half-mile up and 55-1. Green Manalishi is second. And here comes Green Shoe. Green Shoe trotted right on up and right on by, and Green Shoe takes over. The 1-9 favorite grabs command as they motor to the three-quarter mile. And Green Shoe has him by 2. Green Manalishi is there. The three-quarters is up in 1:24. And it's Green Shoe's race to win or lose here. Green Shoe is just cruising along on top. My high five ticket is going in the crapper, and it is all Green Shoe. As they come down to the finish, and Green Shoe will take it. Green Shoe takes the futurity in 1:51-1. Outside look like Don't Let 'Em. Then we come back to Chimpanzee. Possibly Marseille. And Soul Strong was up there in the mix. Just like to congratulate the Red Mile Pool for taking my $288 graciously.
They said thank you.
Well, how about Don't Let 'Em race really well at 100-1.
Green Manalishi come up completely empty. But once again, it goes to show you, you did not need the lead today. Green Shoe with a backside brush and crush for an easy victory here in the mud.
1:51-1. And notice, he drifted off the rail top of the stretch.
Yeah, he was like in the middle of the track coming down the lane.
Yeah, he was in the middle of the track the entire time. He never saw the rail. He never even stayed on the rail. He sat there and waited and then up and gone. I mean, he knew.
Unofficial top 5. 4, 5, 6, 10, 9.
I did call
That's
that
gonna
right.
that's gonna pay pretty large. But we did 8 races today,
We did.
and you can see right now coming in.
Probably thank a few sponsors might not be a bad idea.
Yes, we
Yes,
have
we need to give a shout out to the stable.ca, our exclusive sponsor here for our show today here in Lexington. Huge thanks to Anthony McDonald and team, the stable.ca. If you want to get into fractional ownership, you want to be in the game as an owner here in harness racing, that would be a great way to do it. They have a great business model, terrific team, lots of terrific trainers on their staff. And they really, really do a great job of promoting the sport of harness racing. So a big thank you to the stable.ca and Anthony McDonald. Thanks again to the Red Mile and Cindy Solverson for helping us out with a spot here today.
And definitely, we have to thank Mike for coming on while he's at work.
Yeah, I made it.
Did everybody survive in the process?
I guess so.
He doesn't know, though. He's just guessing. Mike works in the ER, by the way.
Answer a few calls. You know, it is what it is.
Well, either way, we're happy you got on, Mike. It was a big help. And as far as us, we're getting the hell out of here. So we will see you next Friday for another edition of NAHU Live from home, which doesn't happen often. Bang, bang.